The devil is about to attack you, my child, and it's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow is not an ordinary day, for the night of the new moon and the shifting in the dimensions of spiritual reality is making the path easy for the worshippers of the devil. This is the reason the devil is getting powerful, and he has decided to attack millions of faithful people worldwide, and you are one of them. Child, do not tremble. I tell you this not to fill you with fear, but to awaken you from the sleep of comfort that has dulled your spirit. You have walked through seasons of ease, and now the season of testing draws near. The night will seem heavy, and shadows will try to claim what I have planted in you. But even as the darkness gathers, my hand does not withdraw. The enemy moves because he senses what is coming. He knows that my plan in you is nearing its moment of birth. Every pain, every delay, every silence has been shaping you for the day when your faith must burn brighter than your understanding. Do not think it strange when you feel the winds shift and familiar peace trembles. What you will face is not of flesh and blood. The voices that whisper will not come from men. They will arise from unseen realms trying to make you question your worth, your purpose, and my love. The devil cannot touch your soul, so he seeks to confuse your mind. He will speak in your own thoughts, dressing his lies in the sound of your conscience. He will bring memories of guilt, regrets that sting, and fears that weigh on the heart. He will tell you that you are alone, that I have forgotten you, that your prayers are noise lost in the air. But I say to you now, when that hour comes, silence those voices with my name. Speak it aloud, for every demon trembles at the sound of the living word. You will feel the air thicken, you will sense the world grow distant, and even those you love may not understand what stirs within you. But remember, I never asked you to be understood. I asked you to be faithful. In that faith there is light that no darkness can imitate. The devil will throw visions at you, false signs that glitter with hollow beauty. He will present paths that look easier, prayers that promise faster blessings, and teachers who wear my name but carry another spirit. Do not follow them. For in the night of deception, discernment is your weapon. Hold to my truth, not to what pleases your eyes. Tomorrow, as the veil thins, you will sense restlessness in the world, in the hearts of people, in the trembling of nature, even in the silence of the night. It is the stirring of realms, the unseen moving against the seen. But my angels are already set in motion. They have been sent to encircle those who are mine. Even when you do not see them, they stand guard. Even when you feel abandoned, you are surrounded. No spell, no curse, no darkness can cross the boundary drawn by my word. I am the wall of fire around you, and the glory within you. Child, when the attack begins, do not fight with anger. The battle is not won with rage, but with surrender. Surrender to my strength, not to fear. The devil feeds on the fear of the faithful. He grows in the soil of panic and despair. When you are still in my presence, his power starves. When you worship in the storm, his voice cracks. When you praise in pain, his kingdom trembles. Therefore worship me in that night. Do not hide your tears, for even tears offered in faith become weapons. You will see people lose hope around you, and you will hear confusion rise like smoke from the earth. Many will question what is happening, for the shift will not be hidden. It will echo through dreams, through sudden unease, through thoughts that feel foreign. But know this, it is written that darkness must rise before dawn breaks. What looks like defeat is preparation for revelation. Tomorrow my spirit will test the hearts of men. Those who love me in comfort will be refined by conflict. Those who serve me for blessing will face the question of devotion. The true will stand and the false will fade. And in that fire your faith will shine as gold. Do not resist the refining, for I do not destroy. I purify. The devil thinks he knows your weakness, but he forgets who made you. He sees your scars and believes they are open wounds. He hears your sighs and mistakes them for surrender. But every scar is a seal of victory, every sigh a prayer that reached my throne. I have marked you as mine, and no power in hell can erase that mark. When he comes, and he will come with cunning, not with terror, do not look for a beast but for temptation that feels reasonable. The devil often dresses as logic, as comfort, as justification. He will tell you that compromise is wisdom, that silence is peace, that small disobedience is harmless. But remember, one step away from truth is still the beginning of a fall. Guard your mind, guard your tongue, speak only what builds faith. You will feel tired, perhaps more than ever before. The night will seem endless, and the waiting will weigh on you. But know this, my strength does not appear before weakness, it enters when weakness is accepted. Do not say, I cannot do this. Say, He will do it through me. For even in your trembling I am steady, even in your silence I am speaking, even when you fall I am reaching. I am not warning you to frighten you, but to prepare you. Preparation is love. The world teaches you to avoid pain. I teach you to endure it with purpose. The storm does not break you, it reveals what roots you have. Tomorrow when the attack begins, speak no curse, utter no fear. Whisper only my promises. Read them, declare them, breathe them. My word is a sword that never dulls. In that hour the faithful across the world will feel it, a weight, a pressing of the unseen. Some will wake suddenly in the night, feeling the pull of darkness. Others will sense it in their hearts as unrest, as sorrow, as unexplainable fear. But my spirit will move among them, binding them in unity. Though separated by oceans, their prayers will join as one flame, and that flame will blind the eyes of the enemy. You are part of that fire. You are not alone. Remember the covenant I made with you? I did not promise an easy road. I promised my presence. I did not say the battle would be short. I said victory would be certain. So stand. Even when the world shakes, even when the heavens seem silent, stand. For the silence before dawn is not absence, it is alignment. The devil will send doubt, and it will wear the face of logic. He will question what you heard, make you second-guess what I told you. But I remind you now, truth does not change because the wind blows. What I spoke in peace remains valid in chaos. Anchor yourself in that. Do not rely on what you feel tomorrow. Feelings will lie. Rely on what you know, that I am faithful. If you must cry, cry in my arms. If you must kneel, kneel on the promise. For the ground of surrender becomes the throne of victory. You are not the target because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to the darkness. The enemy sees the seeds of destiny I have planted in you. He fears what you will become when your faith matures. He fears your prayer, your worship, your endurance. For every time you refuse to quit, the kingdom of hell loses ground. So when the night deepens, lift your eyes. Do not measure the darkness, measure the promise. I am not afar, I am in you. The same power that raised the sun from death dwells within you. You carry light that darkness cannot comprehend. Speak my name when the air thickens. Sing when silence tries to choke your spirit. For every note of faith is a declaration of war against despair. I will allow the battle, but I will also limit it. The devil is not sovereign. He moves only within the boundaries I set. He thinks he controls the storm, but I command the sea. His fury is temporary. My purpose is eternal. The night may roar, but morning will rise. And when it does, you will see that what the enemy meant for harm has been turned into the sharpening of your soul. Tomorrow is not the end, it is the unveiling. The darkness that approaches is a canvas upon which my glory will write new strength. You will emerge with sight keener than before, heart stronger than before, and peace deeper than you thought possible. Hold no hatred, my child. Even as evil moves, let compassion guard your heart. Do not curse those through whom darkness works. Pray for them, for they are lost. I will judge justly. You must love fiercely. For love disarms hell more than wrath ever could. When morning comes after the battle, you will not be the same. You will feel the ash of the night, but from that ash a new fire will rise. You will understand why I allowed this, and you will thank me not for the pain, but for the purpose it revealed. You will see how I used the devil's attack as your awakening. My child, you are not the first to face the fury of the enemy, nor shall you be the last. Since the beginning, the adversary has roamed to and fro, seeking whom he may devour. But from the dust of Eden to the glory of the empty tomb, my hand has never failed those who trust in me. The devil strikes, but I sustain. The serpent hisses, but I silence him with truth. Every age bears the mark of my deliverance, every generation a testimony that evil can roar but not reign. Remember Job, my servant. The devil sought him with permission, believing that by stripping him of all things he would curse me. The winds tore down his house, the fire consumed his flocks, the disease covered his skin, and the silence weighed upon his soul. Yet Job did not fall to despair. Though he questioned, he did not abandon. Though he mourned, he did not blaspheme. In the ashes of loss, he said, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." And I, who watched his pain, restored him twice over. For no weapon formed against the faithful endures when faith clings to me. Remember Joseph, the dreamer. The enemy moved through the jealousy of his brothers, the deceit of men, and the darkness of prison. Yet even in chains, I was with him. When they thought they had buried his destiny, they were only planting it. For what was meant for evil became the very door through which I raised him to save nations. The pit became the path to the palace, and the betrayal became the beginning of blessing. So too will your trials, my child, turn into triumphs, for I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Remember David, the shepherd who sang in solitude and fought in faith. The devil stirred Goliath to mock the armies of Israel, to strike fear in the hearts of men. But I filled the boy with courage greater than the warrior's sword. The stone that fell from his sling carried not his strength, but mine. I directed it to the giant's brow, and with that one act I showed that no size of darkness can stand before a single spark of belief. Later, when David hid in caves, pursued by Saul, the enemy whispered despair into his heart. Yet even then, I was his refuge. "The Lord is my light and my salvation," he sang, and by that confession he overcame. Remember Daniel in the lion's den. The devil plotted through the pride of rulers, seeking to silence the prayers of the righteous. But Daniel knelt 3 times a day, even when it meant death. The lions opened their jaws, yet they could not harm him, for I shut their mouths. When the morning came, Daniel stood unharmed, and those who accused him were the ones who perished. In his endurance, I revealed that obedience is stronger than fear, and faith is a fortress no beast can breach. Remember the 3 who walked into fire, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The enemy used the vanity of kings to demand worship of gold instead of glory. But my sons refused to bow. They were cast into flames so hot that even the guards perished by their heat. Yet in the midst of that furnace I was there. The fire burned around them, but not within them. Their bonds melted, but their flesh did not. And when they stepped out, they carried no scent of smoke, for those who walk with me cannot be consumed by the fire meant to destroy them. Remember Elijah, weary and hunted, hiding beneath the juniper tree. The enemy whispered that his mission was in vain, that he was alone, that death was better than disappointment. But I sent an angel with bread and water, and strength returned to his soul. Then I spoke to him, not in the earthquake, not in the wind, not in the fire, but in the still small voice, for my presence is not always in power, but in peace. So too will I sustain you when you feel spent and forsaken. You will rise again, not because you are strong, but because I am. Remember Esther, who stood before the throne of a mortal king while unseen shadows sought the destruction of her people. The enemy had woven deception and pride into Haman's heart, planning genocide. Yet through the courage I breathed into her, she broke the silence, saying, "If I perish, I perish." And by that act of faith she lived, and her nation was delivered. The gallows prepared for the righteous became the fall of the wicked. Thus will I turn the traps of the enemy upon his own head, for no snare of darkness can outwit the light of my plan. Remember Moses, trembling before Pharaoh, burdened by the cries of my people. The enemy held them in chains for centuries, but I sent a word through one man. The plagues fell, the sea parted, and the wilderness opened. Even when the people doubted, when serpents bit, when thirst overcame them, I did not abandon them. The enemy tried to use hunger and fear to turn their hearts back to bondage, but I fed them with bread from heaven, water from the rock, and hope through the promise. I led them by fire at night and cloud by day. I have never ceased leading those who trust my direction, even through the longest deserts. Remember Joshua, standing before the walls of Jericho. The devil mocked him with the sight of strength and the sound of silence. Yet at my command the people shouted, and the walls fell. What man could not tear down by might fell through worship. For praise, my child, is not just song, it is strategy. The enemy trembles when my people exalt my name in the face of impossibility. Remember Jonah, who fled from his calling and found himself in the depths of the sea. The enemy sought to drown him in despair, to convince him he had been cast away forever. Yet even from the belly of the great fish, his prayer reached me. I heard, and I commanded the creature to release him. And from that dark womb of the sea, Jonah rose renewed. The enemy cannot bury what I have purposed to resurrect. Remember my son, the Christ, in the wilderness. For 40 days the devil tempted him. Hunger, power, pride, deception. Yet every time the word answered the lie. It is written, he said, and the deceiver fled. The enemy showed him kingdoms and glory, but he chose the cross. And through that choice all chains broke. Even in death the devil thought he had triumphed, but the grave could not hold him. The stone rolled away, and resurrection declared once and for all that no darkness can conquer eternal light. These are not mere stories, my child. They are mirrors of what I will do in you. Every trial that came upon my people was an invitation to reveal my strength. The enemy attacks because he fears the purpose within you. But every time he strikes, I turn his strike into seed. What he means for destruction becomes your discipline. What he uses to wound becomes your wisdom. What he raises to block becomes the bridge I lead you across. The devil attacked the prophets, and I gave them visions. He attacked the apostles, and I gave them boldness. He attacked the early church, and I gave them endurance that built the world's faith. He attacked my son, and I gave the world salvation. So when he comes against you, expect that I am preparing something beyond comprehension. Remember also Peter, who boasted of his strength but denied me thrice. The enemy thought he had won the soul of the disciple. But I looked upon him with mercy, and in that gaze repentance bloomed. The devil's triumph became Peter's testimony. He rose to feed my sheep, to preach my word, to lead my church. The enemy's plan was dismantled by grace. And Paul, once Saul, whom the enemy used as a weapon of persecution. Yet on the road to Damascus, light overcame darkness. The voice that once silenced the faithful became the voice that carried the gospel to nations. Chains could not silence him, prisons could not stop him, serpents could not kill him, storms could not drown him. When the devil tried to destroy him, I transformed him into an instrument of glory. So hear this, my child, the devil attacks what carries destiny. The greater the warfare, the greater the purpose. I allowed my people to face lions, seas, and crosses not to break them, but to reveal that my power is not limited by circumstance. My strength is not proven in ease, but in endurance. When all seems lost, I am closest. When the night deepens, I am already preparing the dawn. The same hand that parted seas still parts your fears. The same voice that calmed the storm still whispers peace into your chaos. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells within you. The enemy trembles not at your weakness but at your persistence, because persistence is the echo of faith. Every time you rise after falling, the kingdom of darkness trembles. Do not think your struggles unseen. Every tear that falls in faith is counted. Every prayer that feels unanswered is stored. Every time you choose righteousness when temptation calls, a victory is recorded in heaven. The devil measures success in moments. I measure in eternity. What seems like delay is often deliverance hidden in process. When you walk through fire, remember the 3 who were not burned. When you face the pit, remember Daniel who slept beside lions. When betrayal cuts you, remember Joseph who forgave his brothers. When fear surrounds you, remember David who sang in caves. When doubt shakes you, remember Thomas who touched the scars and believed. When loneliness overwhelms you, remember Elijah who found me in silence. When despair whispers, remember Christ who rose. You are part of that same story. The pages of my word are still being echoed through the lives of those who trust me. What was written is not ancient, it is alive in you. The same victory that lived in them lives now in your spirit. The same breath that parted waters breathes through your prayer. The same fire that filled Pentecost burns quietly in your obedience. The devil has always been predictable. He attacks identity, truth, and purpose. He seeks to isolate, to exhaust, to deceive. But every time he speaks, I have already spoken first. Every lie he crafts is a distortion of what I have already promised. Stand on my word, and his voice will fade. For the devil cannot speak louder than truth when truth is believed. You will see storms rise, but you will also see them calm. You will be wounded, but your wounds will heal into wisdom. You will be pressed, but not crushed, struck down, but not destroyed. The same power that sustained my people will sustain you. For I am not merely the God of their history, I am the God of your now. So when tomorrow comes, and the shadows move, remember this litany of deliverance. You are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses: Job, Joseph, David, Daniel, Esther, Moses, Elijah, Mary, Peter, Paul, and countless others who endured the attack and found that grace was greater. They stand not in sorrow but in triumph, their testimonies alive in your story. The devil attacked them all, yet they lived, believed, and overcame. Their strength was not their own, it was mine. So it shall be with you. I will not abandon you to the darkness, I will stand within it beside you. You will not fall beyond recovery, you will rise beyond recognition. For my purpose does not end with the enemy's strike, it begins there. The devil may come, but I will come after him. He may roar, but I will whisper peace that silences thunder. He may strike, but I will heal. He may deceive, but I will reveal. He may bring the night, but I am the dawn. And when the battle passes, you will stand as every faithful one before you stood, scarred but sanctified, weary but victorious, humbled but exalted. You will speak not of how strong you were, but of how faithful I was. And the world will see through you what I have been showing since the beginning, that the devil can wound, but he cannot win, that darkness can cover, but it cannot conquer, that my strength is perfected in weakness, and my victory is everlasting.